Hey everyone, in the last video we did a minimal install of Debian. In this video we're going to do a minimal GNOME install. Recall from the last video, we had a point during the installation where we could select some options. I've gone ahead and done another install where I've actually selected GNOME and Debian Desktop. So check out what's installed here. We've got some Office applications, we've got some utilities, we've got some games. And just an idea of what we've got installed there. And real quick, if we actually check out this space, right here, that's about what we're looking at for a typical GNOME install, which is not a huge deal, but if you want to do it a little more trim than that, we can go with another option. So I'm going to go ahead and log out of this machine. We're going to go ahead and connect over SSH to the machine that we installed Debian on earlier. Make this a little bigger. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and get this user added to sudo. So we need to actually switch over to root. And we want to run the command by sudo. And it's a good idea to always run that command and edit the file directly. And this is editing using nano. It's what's selected by default in Debian. Actually going to change that, but we'll worry about that later. And there's two ways you can add a user to sudo. You can either add them like root is added here, or you can actually add them to the group. In Red Hat based distributions, it's different. It's the wheel group. I'm going to go ahead and just add the user right here. So yes, okay. And let's see if we have to log out. Do an apt update to check our package cache is up to date. And it looks like it actually took right away. Okay, so now we can go ahead and install GNOME session. And don't worry about these apt commands if you're not familiar. At a certain point, I'm going to make a video and we're going to cover apt. But for now, let's go ahead and type apt install GNOME session. That'll get us all the packages we need for the actual GNOME desktop. And then we also want to install GNOME terminal. That way we can actually open a terminal within GNOME desktop and we can install additional packages if we need to. So if you go ahead and hit enter here, we're going to have quite a few packages to install. So I'm going to go ahead and run this and I will come back after this is done. We're going to have quite a few to download and then it's going to have to apply all those packages. So it will take a little while and that will vary depending on your connection speed. Right, and we're all set here. The install is completed. I would recommend rebooting. As you can see, it actually tried to restart the service, but it could not load, but that's no big deal. Should be fine when we reboot. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And it looks like we're back. So we should be able to log in. And in fact, I've got the console pulled up and it looks like we're all set. So now we are at the logon screen at the console here. So I just want to point out one thing that we can do as well. I mentioned that we needed to install GNOME terminal, and that does give us a terminal inside the desktop. But if we need to, we can actually use some keys to get alternate consoles. Like at your keyboard, if you press Control Alt and the F keys, you have different sessions that you can connect to, different terminal sessions. And I'll get more into the details of that in a future video. But for now, show you real quick here that we can actually press some keys here, Control Alt and F2, and there we go. We're at a different TTY, so that gives us the ability to log into a terminal. And I could run commands if GNOME terminal wasn't here. I've actually had situations where I installed GNOME on a VM and I did not install GNOME terminal, so I actually used the console to get a prompt so that I could then run the install for GNOME terminal and get back into the TTY that, or the actual terminal that the desktop is running on. So we could actually do that here by pressing F1 again, and we're back. And so there we go. Oh. And this is what we've got when we do a minimal install. This. And we've just got a terminal, settings, we've got our input method and the extensions. So really minimal set of packages. I personally don't like a lot of clutter. There's a lot of cool applications that come with the default install, but there's a lot there that I don't necessarily need, especially if maybe you're setting up some kind of server where for some reason you want a GUI and you don't want to clog it up with a bunch of other applications. This way you can kind of pick what you get instead of just allowing it to install the base that you get when you select them during the install process. Then you have to go back and you have to clean everything up and install it all. I prefer to do it this way, but there's nothing wrong with the basic GNOME package. So that pretty much covers the minimal GNOME install. All right, and if this video was helpful, please leave a like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.